All right, so I just found a microwave on the side of the road, and I've taken the case off of it. We're going to see exactly what's going on inside there, and I'll give you a little bit of a look as to exactly what to find inside of a microwave. All right, so here is the guts inside the microwave. And just a brief little rundown so far, it looks like we've got a momentary on-off switch right here, probably a door sensor or something like that. Looks like we've got some kind of potentiometer here. I'll take a closer look at that at some point. Not sure what this guy is, but there's a little bit of this plated steel sheeting and a coil, which means that this guy is inducing some kind of current around this guy. So a motor or maybe a controller, I'm not really super sure. You can see on this shaded pole motor here, it's super similar. Looks like this is the fan control motor. But this, similar to the shaded pole motor that I got out of the turntable I got off the side of the road here. Super similar design. Lots of those in fans and other things. Right here this is actually the transformer. Probably a 2,000 watt transformer if I had to guess. We've also got a giant capacitor right here, which I will make sure to discharge before I go sticking my fingers anywhere near that, because those things will shock the crap out of you. Looks like right here is some kind of a timer circuit with a bell on the back to bing whenever it's done doing stuff, so that looks neat. Looks like I got a fuse holder right there. Looks like I got a little small circuit board with a couple, looks like maybe a relay and a couple wiring harnesses on it, maybe a capacitor or two. This looks like maybe another relay? I'm not sure. Let's see. So this is the white and black is the AC power. Generally, AC power is white and black. Looks like one end goes to the small coil. Looks like, I mean, technically I could just take this thing apart for the coils and maybe build a motor or something like that out of that, but I figured we play with the current first, just to see what we can do. Make a Jacob's ladder or something. On the top here, it looks like there's a bulb holder, so I could definitely use that for a lamp or whatever else. I know right here, I think at least, on the inside of the microwave, I definitely saw another motor, probably for a turntable or another fan or something like that. I'm not sure. Looks like I got maybe another momentary on-off switch right here. Oh, that just actuated this thing forward whenever I do not know what that mechanism does, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Looks like we got a little light right here for the front of the microwave. And maybe even, looks like a couple more relays in there, or small transformers. Not sure. This looks like a big, giant, heavy-duty ceramic capacitor, I think is what these are called. Excuse me, not a capacitor. This is a big, giant resistor. Super high-load resistor. And, yeah. Looks like there's another couple things. I bet this is the magnetron housing right here, probably. Probably got a couple things controlling that going in. This is definitely the power coming out of the transformer, so this definitely is the power for the magnetron. So yeah, lots of cool little things in here that I can use for repurpose for all kinds of stuff. Let's keep on taking it apart, huh? All right, here's a little bit of a closer look at that momentary on-off switch that I had in here. Definitely what that is. If you get a multimeter and hook one side up to one side, see continuity, it'll beep if it detects that there's continuity. So definitely a potential or a small momentary switch. So this little thing is kind of interesting. So it's basically a momentary on-off switch, I'm assuming for the whole device. But it's got this weird little mechanism on the top, right? So it's got this right here is how you would turn the momentary on-off going. But with this plunger out, notice it's spring-loaded here, so it's probably a door switch. If you actuate this right here, see, it pushes it down. But now that the plunger's out, this is a split lever thing here, so it won't let you actuate that momentary on-off unless you close the door of the microwave. Bang, momentary on-off. So pretty cool little device here. I might leave this one all together just because I think it's mechanically pretty clever. Alrighty, so that's pretty much everything I could get out of here. I've already tossed the microwave Got pretty much every salvageable component other than like sheet metal or screws. But yeah, so let's start and see what all we got. First thing, looks like a couple relays here. I have to figure out exactly how these work. Might even take one open just to see what's going on inside there. Looks like there might have been a lot more poles at one point, but they were kind of cut off. Not sure. Alright, next we got a power cable. So I can use this to wire up other stuff. I even left the little connectors on there so I can play with these components here and just clip them right onto those little blade connectors. We've also got a magnetron. So this is the thing that actually, again, that makes the voltage, it makes the microwave radiation that goes in there. So got one of those just in case. Might just keep it for looks. Got a 2100 volt, looks like a 1 microfarad capacitor. Don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I did get a transformer. This thing is stupid heavy. It's basically a solid block of metal. So yeah, we've got a, looks like a definitely a transformer. I think it's, most micros are 2100 watts, or 2100 volts, excuse me, something like that. So yeah, smaller coil, larger coil, larger, thicker wires here, probably for higher amperage. So this is probably the 120 side, because it's higher amperage. I'm not sure. We'll figure this thing out later. So, got one of these. Got a little fuse holder, just in case we need one of those. We got a big, giant, beefy diode here that won't burn out too easy. This was actually on the ground, just so in case anything weird happened, if you shocked the outside of the microwave, it wouldn't go through. It wouldn't go into the microwave, it would go out the third prong of your home plug. Turns out I need a diode to fix my scooter lighting, so might use that for this, or this for that. Found one of these guys. Looks like a step-down transformer. Looks like it Looks like it takes a 120 volts. Looks like it puts out 12 volts. 1.2 volt amps, so I guess watts. Not really sure about this little guy. Gotta play with this more. But next, we also got a bolt, or a bulb holder. So I could use this to wire up any kind of lamp or anything, because this just runs on AC power. Got several momentary on-off switches. A couple of them are normally open, a couple of them are normally closed. So, not sure. I think this one's normally open. A couple stats right there for you. Got a, looks like a linear taper potentiometer. Looks like it says it is a, looks like 10 ohm. Or let's see, what does that say? Yeah, 10,000 ohm. At its maximum settings, 10,000 ohm. Yeah, so it's even got a cool little knob to go on the front. I think this is some kind of speed controller. This was the power level. So this somehow steps up or steps down the power coming out of the magnetron. Yeah, so there's a little coil in it right here. Looks like a couple sheets of stacked steel plating here. It usually acts like a to guide the EM waves. So this coil right here puts it out, makes some kind of thing happen here, and this knob does something. Looks like there's two contacts for the coil, and then 2 other contacts coming out of the side of what looks like another momentary on-off, honestly. But not sure, we'll play. Also got a cool knob for the front of that one. This thing looks like some kind of really strange little bulb. There's 2 rods parallel to each other, so I'm guessing some kind of bulb. It's got a resistor attached to it. Don't know. Oh, it's good. I'll probably play with this at some point too. Got a couple really cool things. This was that door. The door won't let you actuate this momentary switch until the door is closed. Using this little paddle right here, moves this out of the way. Did a separate little section just on this guy because it's really neat. Next, got another momentary on-off in here. I think this one was one of the normally open, or excuse me, normally closed. Can't really tell, but yeah, these things should work for all kinds of stuff. This one has an extra lead coming out. This one is definitely normally, I want to say, closed. So another little one of these guys. So plenty of those. Yet again, another one of these guys. This was another one of the door closed safety switches. This one has a neat little kind of cam action here, how it pushes the button down. So got another one of those for the momentary on off. Here's one of my favorite things I got out of here. This is a little AC motor here, a shaded pole motor, and then it's actually hooked up to a little squirrel cage fan or blower motor. So I figured I could hook this up somehow to maybe make an electronic bellows. So when I'm trying to start a fire outside, that way I don't have to bend over and blow on it myself. So yeah, this little guy right here should be handy for that. And this guy, I think, is a powered timer. I don't think the time ticks for it. Well, it definitely doesn't because I left it on there a little while ago. But when you apply power to it, it will give you power. I assume one of these right here powers the mechanism, and the other one is the momentary on-off of the actual switch. If you turn it all the way off, you get a nice little ding from this bell on the end right here. So hopefully I'll be able to make something with a timer. Who knows? Maybe something to water the yard. Not real sure. Yeah, so here's that blower motor and the cable I was talking about. So as you can see, if I just connect this guy, those little connections aren't the same size, so I gotta be careful not to touch them. But yeah, there's a ton of air coming out right there. So yeah, this looks like this is gonna be a nice little blower motor. Like I said, I was gonna try to use it, maybe put like a little venturi on here going down to increase the airspeed. That way I can get a lot of high velocity air at the fire and really get that thing going. And then that way, like I said, I don't have to run out of breath. This thing right here runs all by itself. Not too bad. But yeah, that was all the stuff that I got out of that free microwave on the side of the road from 1988. So if you see stuff laying on the side of the road, remember that might have useful components in there. But things like microwaves, TVs, have some dangerous parts in them. That big giant capacitor, if you, let's say you plugged it in to see if it worked, everything worked fine. If you unplugged it, and then you reach in there to take some wires out and everything like that, and that capacitor will shock the crap out of you. So you really got to be careful when you're doing that. Anyway, just remember to keep your eyes open, especially during spring cleaning time, like it is right now in Durango. So there's stuff just laying on the side of the road everywhere. Hopefully I can score a treadmill or a washing machine, or I think I might have even seen a condenser for the outside, like your home AC, a central AC unit. And those, as you know, those have a big giant fan motor in them. So ideally, I can go back and grab that thing. Hopefully it doesn't weigh too much and I can fit it in the back of my little CRV. So thanks, guys.